Well, howdy do.
Hey, what's up, Leash?
How are ya?
I'm good, man. Oh shit. This is exciting. Good to see you, man.
It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in what, like 2.5 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Something
It's been a
around
long
there.
time.
Okay, talk for me. What'd you have for breakfast?
Shit. Mashed potatoes and meatballs.
Damn. You know, there's no rules for breakfast.
No.
Never.
No, absolutely not.
What color are your underwear?
What underwear?
Yeah, that's the running theme around here.
Is this taboo?
Good evening, everyone. You know what day it is. You know what time. It's time for Hard Talks with a Blonde and a Hippie. I'm your trippy hippie, Alicia, jumping on the mic from good old Utah. Joined this evening with my incredible cousin, Adam, all the way from Sweden. How you doing?
Yo, Leash. Good, man. Thanks for having me.
It's been so long since I've seen you. I'm really excited to catch up and hear about your escapades and all the adventures you've been on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my co-host Sarah will be here shortly. She's pregnant and hungry, so kudos to Sarah. She'll be here shortly. This is an 18 and up podcast. We talk all things controversial, difficult, or taboo. Curse like sailors. I don't want to be responsible for your children saying fuck or goddamn, so slide in on your own time, you know. This is a crass podcast, so I apologize in advance.
Oh, shit. Fuck it. Let's just go with it and see what happens.
We're bullshitting anyways. It's a comedy podcast, not to be taken too seriously. Hardy har. Tonight, I wanted to talk to Adam. It's noon here in Utah, and what, it's 8-ish, 8:30 there?
Yeah, about 8:30.
Yeah. How long have you lived there now?
Oh, man. It'll be 2 years in October, so about a year and a half.
What brought you out there?
A girl.
That's always the best kind of story, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good. She's been out here for about 2 years. So, and we have a couple more years to go until we're done.
So is she in medical school?
No, she's getting her PhD in geology.
Oh, cool. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting her before.
She was at Molly's wedding.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, she was. This is like how we really met, and I asked her out after. But yeah, just pretty blonde girl,
curly hair. I was not very present at Molly's wedding. That was rough for me. It was a little rough.
Yeah, hey man, you and most of us, you weren't as like epic as your sister. Rachel got fucked up.
Oh. Yeah, well, yeah, shit popped off with my now ex-husband, and I was like in a room most of the night. I don't remember much of the wedding.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was wild.
Damn. Wait, with whose husband?
My ex-husband. I got married and all that shit. I made all the wrong decisions.
I was at your wedding. I know that dude.
Actually, that might have been the last time I saw you.
Molly's wedding?
No.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. It's been a long time.
Either way, it doesn't matter. But yeah, for all of you listening, Molly is his sister. But anyway, like, back to Sweden.
Do you want to continue living throughout Europe, or are you considering coming back to the States?
I mean, we're not thinking too much about it right now. We still have like I said, a couple of years ahead of us. But
yeah,
I mean, we're open, man.
Yeah.
Maybe elsewhere in Europe, maybe back to the States. I mean, we're not going to stick around Sweden. It's fine for right now, but it's not a spot where we're going to settle down. So,
What do you enjoy about living there? Like, what do you do on a lazy Sunday?
oh boy, we have so we're living in like a converted garage,
Mhm.
outside of the town where we're living, and like right on a beautiful lake surrounded by forest. So I mean, we got a little inflatable kayak and just rip around on bikes and go explore the woods. It's super flat here, man.
Really?
Moving to Sweden, I was thinking I was moving to Norway. It's like, oh yeah, Sweden, Norway, mountains. It's going to be epic.
Well, that's
It's Minnesota, pretty much.
oh my gosh, that's wild. You know, I used to live there as a kid.
Oh
It's
yeah,
flat,
I remember.
flat as fuck.
Yeah, dude, and the winters are just fucking dark.
They're brutal.
Yeah, about 4.5, 5 hours of daylight.
Oh shit! So it's kind of like Alaska then, in that sense
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
we're in latitude and anchorage.
Look, it's my Sarah. Look how cute and pregnant she is. Well, you can only see Adam, but you know, I think the biggest misconception, what I think of when I think of Sweden or like Switzerland, if you will, both of them, I think of a lot of mountains too, and skiing, really good skiing. There's no skiing out there?
Yeah. I mean, there is. There's way more skiing in Switzerland. They're actually in
Right.
the Alps. Sweden has like the foothills of the mountains coming out of Norway on the far western part of the country, and it runs like pretty far north and south. So there are some mountains here, but I mean they're about 1,000 meters, so like around 3,000 feet.
Huh.
Nothing too impressive.
Yeah. Nothing compared to
But,
Utah's mountains even. Wow.
Nah, no way, man.
Yeah. You've been skiing a long time, your whole life, right? How old were you when you got put on some skis?
My mom keeps telling us we were 1.5 or 2, but I don't really believe that. I think we were around 3 or something like that, which it doesn't make that big of a difference. But we've been skiing our whole lives.
Yeah, you and Molly. And you, I mean, you've even taught like lessons to young kids to learn how to ski up at Alta, right?
Yeah, I did that for about 7 years.
That's amazing. Really good
That's pretty cool.
skier. I never had like by the time I moved to Utah, my whole family was really, really into skiing. Like it's a lifestyle, you know what I mean? And some of our family members have even been sponsored, and it's just crazy because I never like got thrust into that. I was never lucky enough to have that. By the time I turned like 14, my stepdad signed us up for like snowboarding lessons. And I remember talking to Aunt Kathleen about it, and she's like, snowboarding? Why? She's like,
Yeah, who the fuck do you think you are? Don't you know your family?
yeah.
Snowboard?
Yeah, and it was like a whole like, ew.
Ew.
Yeah. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. Tonight I'm drinking a Uinta Hazy Noosh IPA, thanks to good old
Nosh.
Sarah. Nosh.
I don't know.
It is a Nosh.
Noosh. Wouldn't that be like NU?
No, that's a misconception.
It's like tear and tear.
I don't know anymore. I'm terrible with like grammar. You'd think I'd be better. I am in production. But you know, all that being said, Adam, like since it sounds like Sweden's pretty similar to Alaska, like tell me a little bit about your time that you've spent while you were working in Alaska. What were you doing?
2 different things. I moved out to Alaska for the first time in 2018.
Mhm.
I've been wanting, so I left from Hawaii. I was living out there for a little bit, and I really wanted to hop on a fishing boat. I knew nothing about it. I just knew that it was tough work and potentially a pretty substantial payout. And yeah, I ended up just talking to a couple buddies, and I ended up getting hooked up on a boat outside of Bristol Bay, a small bay, well, a pretty big bay actually, out of the Bering Sea in far western Alaska. And yeah, hopped on a boat with a really shitty captain and a solid crew, and caught some fish, made a little bit of money, and then Went back the next year, better captain, better crew, got a lot more fish, made a lot more money. And it was awesome. I mean, I did that for about 3 years, and I would be going back this season. I would be up there right now, actually, but I blew up my shoulder a couple months ago, and
Oh shit.
I'm unable to do that, unfortunately. So I'm just hanging out. Actually, planning a trip to go back to Utah. I'm leaving on Sunday. Surprise.
What? You should have told me that. I would have been like,
Yeah, I wanted to.
be here in person. That would have been
Yeah,
epic.
man, I want to leave it as like a little bombshell, but
Well, I'll keep it a secret. I'll keep it a secret.
It's a shush.
This won't be released for a couple of weeks, so.
yeah, I figured as much. Nobody knows except Molly.
Is Molly gonna be here?
Molly's coming up on the 6th, I think.
What? For what? Just because?
Just because, yeah, she'll be up there for a couple days, and
That's kick ass. Well,
yeah,
we're gonna.
we know where you are.
Well, I mean, I know you're gonna be up or down south, so I'll come see you guys.
There you go.
It's gonna happen. I haven't seen him in almost freaking 2.5 years.
That's
It
a long
has to
time.
be, yeah. Because the last time that you saw Elliot, he was tiny. Like I even have pictures of you like holding him up like Simba from The Lion King.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, or we did go to the bar, but yeah, it's all hazy. The last few years have just all run together, and we're here. So my life is a shit show. I saw a meme yesterday, and it was like a burning parachute, and this guy's like, "This is my life, wee," and I'm
Yes!
like,
I saw that.
that's where I'm at.
You're like, this is me.
But I mean, like, tell me really quick. I mean, this is a loaded question. I'm sure you could unpack a lot, but what goes on in a typical day on a boat in Bristol Bay? Like, you're stuck on that boat with these guys for how many days?
Yeah, so we put in about 2 weeks in the boatyard beforehand, just getting everything ready. And then we're in the water. Last year we were on the boat for 50 days.
That smells good, huh?
Oh man, the smell is spot on. You can't find any other smell like that elsewhere in the fucking world.
That's a lot.
Fish and stanky men.
Yeah, I mean, on a normal year, we're able to hop off the boat onto a larger boat where we deliver our fish and like take showers when we have a little downtime. And because of COVID last year, we weren't allowed to do that. So 50 days without a shower. It was great.
What? And you said you can't
Yeah,
jump
but I mean-
into the bay because it's so like dirty, right?
Yeah, we went swimming twice, and you feel grungier after dipping in the water than you do before going in. So, baby wipes, man. Just living the baby wipe lifestyle.
I mean, we all do it at some point.
Camping,
Let's be honest.
baby wipe baths for the best of us. Hippie runs strong in our family. So
That's for true.
it is for true. Oh my God. So how'd you blow out your shoulder? That sucks. I'm so sorry to hear that.
That's all good. Training for fishing, really. Climbing and just getting out of the dark winter mode
Yeah.
and starting to move again. And I was just doing too much, and I messed up a bunch of things in there. So looking at surgery in a couple months,
Damn.
and then bounce back and get back up to the bay hopefully next year.
Yeah.
But I
Definitely.
mean, you were asking about a typical day on the boat, right?
Yeah.
Typical day, like during peak season, is we rotate sleep schedules where we're getting like 1 to 3 hours, maybe 4 hours of sleep a day.
Shit.
And we're up fishing for roughly 30 hours, 20 to 30 hours.
Damn.
That's rough.
Just straight up catching fish, killing fish, delivering, eating when we can. A lot of cleaning. People like hear about, oh, you're a fisherman, you're catching fish all day. And we're catching fish about half the time, and then we're fucking cleaning the damn boat half the time. And then like we figure out like decent time to stop smoking cigarettes and go crawl in the bunk for a little bit, and then just do the same thing until the season's over. And season runs about 2 months typically. So,
Damn. I hope the payout is well, because that is some fucking tough work.
That would be hard.
30 hours a day. How many fish do you usually catch on average?
oh boy, over 300,000 pounds.
Holy shit.
Good Lord.
So I
That's
mean, like it's just thousands, tens of thousands.
And it's all salmon?
Yeah, it's all salmon.
Damn. Damn.
That's intense.
I can only imagine, like, how strong your cranking arm must be. Like,
Man, cranking arm would be ripped if we fish with lines. We got a half-mile long net that goes out.
oh yeah, it's like
I was gonna say, like,
yeah.
I mean, that's like an excursion fishing trip, where like when you're reeling them in, but like that
I'm thinking
many
of like
people,
swordfish.
I'm over here like, yeah, I get it. I'm like a net. I'm like, you're reeling these things in now. Like, what the? That's some hardcore shit.
That's why he's here, because I don't know, and most people probably wouldn't. Unless you watch Wicked Tuna, like my father. And he's a diehard
Wicked
freaking-
Tuna.
Yes. He's a diehard Wicked Tuna guy.
like the fishing shows,
Yeah, the fishing show.
like Deadliest Catch. That's what I'm thinking of.
Anyway,
See, it's fine.
you could have had your own reality show. Look at you.
I'm not interested, but thanks though.
No, so one of my favorite things that like my dad says, because he just loves the shit out of you. I mean, Adam played the drums and my dad played the drums, and they both love skiing, so they always just got along really well. And like Adam's done some really cool things with his life, but my dad's always like, man, I admire Adam's life so much because he lives the life of a tumbleweed. He just goes wherever the wind blows him and does what he wants to do. And I mean, you were in the Peace Corps for a couple of years and in Zambia, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I want to know a little bit about that. We had Tyler Berklasich on a few episodes ago. You might remember him from way back when, but he served over in the Gambia. And he said that he sat down with you and even like chatted with you about what your experience was like before he went. And so his experience was eye-opening in the sense that he shared it from, a proud gay, white man's perspective, and going over somewhere where being gay is illegal. And it was just like a whole unpacking of a lot of things. So I want to ask some questions about, the Peace Corps specifically. Like, oh shit, we plugged that in. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Well, she's just gonna plug my phone in. But what is like the interviewing process look like? Like, I know it's a really competitive thing to get into. What's required of like a candidate to join if someone was interested?
That's a good question. I applied and I interviewed it back in 2011, 2012. So this is a while ago, and I'm sure the process has changed. But for me back then, it was a lot. I really wanted to be a Peace Corps volunteer. Honestly, it was one of the main reasons why I finished my undergrad in college.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what the fuck I was doing in college. Ended up getting a degree that I never really used, but the degree did help me be eligible for the Peace Corps.
Yeah. What's your undergrad in?
I mean, geography.
I knew that. That's awesome, though. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it served its purpose, but I mean, the interview process, it took me like from the time I first started the application until I got my acceptance letter.
Mm-hmm.
It was about 11 months. So it was a long time of me like going through the process and waiting on the interview, then waiting on the next interview, waiting on the letter. It was a lot of like, I really fucking want this. Just somebody please tell me what's going on. So that was a little frustrating, but honestly, it was a little good. Like it was pretty decent practice for just getting me ready for what the experience itself was like.
Yeah.
Which just required a ton of patience.
Yeah. Were you open to going anywhere?
Yeah, I was. I really wanted to go somewhere in sub-Saharan Africa, but I was open with wherever they wanted to place me.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you got over there, like what was your initial reaction? Like what was your first day like being there over in Zambia?
In country.
Yeah.
Oh, man. God, I was 25. It was like 7 or 8 years ago. And yeah, I'd never left North America before. I've been to Mexico and Canada, but I never really like taken an international flight. Yeah, it was really exciting. Jet lag sucked. They put us up in a really like I really liked the place. Just kind of this, I don't know, balls to the wall kind of rustic spot in the middle of Lusaka, Zambia, and it was just hardcore training for 3 months, and then we got our placements, and then spent about 24 months in my respective village up in northern Zambia.
And what did the training like? What did they train you in during that training process?
Yeah, man, a lot of language training. Where I spent my 2 years. So there are 72 languages spoken in Zambia, and I learned one language called Bemba. So a lot of very intensive language training every day, and then cultural training. Just Zambia has a very, very rich heritage and culture, and a lot of do's and a lot of don'ts. So a lot of sensitization to what to expect and what to just really to prepare for. And a lot of like, I guess work training. So I was working in the agricultural sector, beekeeping, fish farming, agroforestry, and a lot of specific training for those practices, really.
That's awesome.
That's way cool.
So when you got to your respected village, you know, what are some of the responsibilities that you had, and where did they I was gonna say, where did they keep you? Like you're a bee or something, but like
You're a beekeeper. Where'd you go?
Yeah.
We need to get the bees, but I want to know where you were kept.
yeah.
Yeah. Shit, man. Like, I don't know. It was just, you get to the village and you're immediately in a fishbowl. Everyone's just really interested. Nobody speaks English. My Bemba is shit at that point. So it's a lot of charades, and I didn't really start doing work for at least the first 6 months. It was really just getting to know people and working on my language and allowing people to get used to me. You were mentioning what Tyler was dealing with in the Gambia, of just like this privileged white guy moving into a very impoverished area, and it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
To all of a sudden be thrown into this area where you're surrounded by the most happy, generous people you've ever met in your life, and it's a very hard environment, and just getting used to that and jumping into like their way of life, right?
Yeah.
Getting used to showering out of a bucket, riding your bike a couple kilometers to go pick up water out of a swamp, washing clothes by hand, just like little things that people out there are very used to. Yeah, so I mean, it was very eye opening, and it was a blast. It was a lot of fun.
He described like that they put him in kind of like a host family's house or hut, if you will. So did you have a host family as well, or did you have your own hut?
I had my own hut. I had a host who lived about a kilometer away. He became a really good friend, but he was he just suffered from very extreme alcoholism, and he was not reliable at all. So I mean, I was out on my own, which is what I wanted. I had a couple neighbors, but I was in a very, very rural area. Like my nearest neighbor was next door, and then the next neighbor was about half kilometer down a bush path. So I mean, it's just imagine flat, desolate savanna.
Yeah.
Just sprinkled huts all over the place. Not like a very congested village. It was very sparse.
Hmm. That's amazing. So, like, what do they hunt out there? Did you hunt at all?
They do. Yeah, they do. A lot of the animals have been hunted to extirpation. Like a lot of them don't exist in that area anymore. So a lot of bush rats, a lot of birds, a lot of fish. We lived pretty close to a lake, but the lake, I mean, it was, about a mile and a half of straight swamp before you hit open water. A lot of crocodiles and poison snakes in that swamp.
Yep.
So getting fish were pretty tough.
Yeah.
We'd pull out little muddy catfish that would live in like 3 feet, a meter of mud. And you just sink your hand into the mud and pull out these tiny little catfish.
Wow.
They just tasted like mud, but they were fine.
They tasted like mud, but you've had snake
So, I mean,
before, right?
Yeah, but it's very taboo in Zambia. So, yeah, witchcraft is very, very not even popular. It's very real there.
Yeah.
Because everyone.
I can imagine.
And so, yeah, man. I mean, eating snakes is for witches. So I ate a couple snakes, but I kept that between me and my buddies.
Yeah. That's understandable.
Right, that's way cool.
Yeah, they don't want to think that you're like a...
Like, oh, you got some voodoo shit going? You're like, no, what?
Yeah, I apologize.
Yeah.
So, what did you guys grow out there?
We grow cassava root.
What was
I
that?
don't know if you're familiar. Cassava root.
Okay, what's that?
Cassava is, I don't know how to describe it. It's a tuber. It gets really big, man, like about a foot long. Just this big white root that if you eat it raw, it has a pretty high level of cyanide in it.
Shit.
So you can't really eat it raw. You have to process the hell out of this thing.
Yeah.
Good
So
lord.
a lot of processed cassava, a lot of peanuts, a lot of sweet potatoes, a lot of rats, a lot of birds.
A lot of rats.
Yeah, a lot of veggies. But I mean, as far as like what we grow, we produce a lot of honey. We caught wild Africanized bee colonies and try to domesticate them. We also worked in collaboration with the Department of Forestry, and I was able to get a bunch of fish out to the villages I was working in, and we were raising fish in these hand dug ponds that we built.
Wow,
that's cool.
So, yeah, it was sweet. I mean, really, we were just working on food security, finding better year-round food supply for people instead of just relying on hunting rats and birds. And living off the harvest. So,
yeah,
sure.
So what like cultural experiences like did you get to be a part of? Like I know you said the culture is really rich there. Like do they have any traditions or celebrations that you got to experience while you were over there?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, a very, very rich culture. A lot of weddings. And weddings were a huge one. A lot of births. I saw a lot of live births, and I got to hold a lot of very, very brand new babies. And, a lot of celebration around the harvest during the rainy season. So around December, like is when the rainy season started, and everything just became a party. Everyone was very excited when the rain showed up. And also on the flip side, a lot of funerals. I witnessed a lot of people die. But yeah, I mean, it's just all inclusive. A lot of very joyous occasions and a lot of very just sobering occasions.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I remember when you first came back, it was during like the scare of Ebola. and you had to quarantine when you came home. Isn't that right?
No, I didn't actually have to quarantine. The Ebola outbreak was mostly in Western Africa, and I was in Southern Africa. We did have a couple cases in Zambia, but it never blew up the way it was in Guinea or Sierra Leone, Western Africa.
I thought you had to
So,
like stay somewhere for a couple days in between, and I was like, "Damn, that sucks."
yeah, no, I got really sick coming out of the village, and maybe that's what you were thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a really bad bacterial infection and just had to spend some time in the hospital.
Oh man,
That's not fun.
yeah. I remember when you finally did get home, it was a joyous occasion for our family as well, our giant, crazy Italian fam bam. They all come together and they're all incredible. But you at one point in the middle of a conversation threw your foot up onto a table and literally like squoze out a little worm. You remember that? You got it.
Yeah, I remember that. I was squeezing that in my feet for a couple weeks.
Yeah, you got it. So tell me that story. Tell me how you got worms in your feet.
Yeah, wasn't the first time I got worms in my feet when you got to witness it, but yeah, just these tiny little dudes who like to live in feces and like I guess pig shit really. And whether you're wearing sandals or not, they will crawl into your feet and lay the larva and then dip out.
Damn.
So I mean, everybody got used to just like you would think you had a thorn or a splinter or something in your foot. You look at it, you just kind of squeeze out a little crawling gray worm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, that was crazy shit to see in person. I'm
Like
just
normally,
saying.
you're like, oh, got a worm. Hold on. We're good.
Oh, I'm serious. It was wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was fun for me. I mean, as far as like that cultural exchange piece, I feel like that was very important to show my family.
Hey, he came all the way back from Africa. He made it through the flight. He made it through your sickness. He wanted to be a part of the party.
He was.
Yeah, that sneaky little bastard definitely got around, like got through customs.
Jeez. He was living life. He's like, I'm not going nowhere.
Before we move on from that, because there's just so much to unpack. There really is. I mean, that experience, it sounds so powerful and so profound, This is another loaded question. Like, what would you say was your most memorable experience from your time over there?
I can't pick just one. I mean, it was the most powerful experience of my life.
Yeah.
I met some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life out there. I got really close with a lot of people, especially the kids. So on days where I didn't have particular projects, I would just hang out with my kids and go mushroom hunting in the bush or cook up flying termites or go rat hunting or just hanging out playing the banjo with them and having them just drum on buckets and sing. I mean, there were so many beautiful moments. Not to mention just like, I don't know, the Zambian government workers I worked with were just awesome, man. And the other Peace Corps volunteers I got to meet out there, it was mighty.
I mean, like, I couldn't imagine. It sounds like, would you ever consider like going back and trying to join the Peace Corps again? Or can you only do it so many times? Like, is there a limit? I don't know.
That's a good question. I mean, one of the Peace Corps volunteers I met out there, his name was Russ. He was 72 years old, and it was his 12th Peace Corps service. So he made a lifelong career of just being a Peace Corps volunteer. So yeah, I mean, you can do it as many times as you want.
That's awesome.
I also read that like if you're married, you can go together. I mean, it might be a little more extensive process, but you can try and put in for the same place. I thought that was cool.
Oh yeah.
One of Corey's clients, her and her husband are in the Peace Corps now. They wanted to do that, and now they are doing it together.
Yeah, and I know that there's other programs out there. Like my sister Sam, she joined like a teaching immersion program, so she went over to China for a year, and that was an amazing experience for her. She got really attached to the kids. So I mean, there's other other programs out there that might not be as long as those two. It's 2.5 years for the Peace Corps, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, there's shorter programs. My sister Lexi was considering doing kind of the same thing, a teaching program, but over in, I think, Costa Rica. But then COVID hit. So that kind of threw a wrench in everyone's plans. But it was scary because Sam was actually stuck in China while COVID was, the outbreak initial. I cannot talk anymore, and I'm not even drinking, friends. When the outbreak initially happened, so we were like, oh shit, like we need to get her home. So that was scary. But yeah, I mean, very profound, humbling experience for her as well. So I mean, if you're curious, I'll link some links in the show notes. My brain. I was up way too late last night. I'm hanging hard today.
Yeah, you are.
I saw her before we recorded because I had an appointment with her, and I was in her chair the whole time, and I was just like, dude, I am gonna die. Like, my head is throbbing. We're doing the damn thing. And then we get home, and I'm like rushing to set up. And Elliot falls off his bike and skins his knee again.
Yeah, he showed me when I walked in.
I'm like, I'm so sorry.
I'll comfort you in a minute.
No, but we're here. You know?
Might take a little time. If you're not early or late, I'm always late.
I'm just a shit show. All the time.
Girl, that's why we're so good together.
You guys fucking made it. Be proud of that. Little victories during the...
We're all here.
We're still here. It's fine.
I brushed my teeth today.
I think I put deodorant on.
Yeah. She put deodorant on. We're awesome.
Sometimes I forget, okay?
We get an applause. Thank you. Oh. So I'm really curious. I'm going to educate myself more on, serving. My kid's not going to be little forever.
Nope.
I think it would be a very eye-opening experience, except I don't have a degree, so yeah. One day I'll have that too.
Do them both at the same time.
How long have you been wood carving, Adam? I need to know because you're really good at it. You're talented. You make a bunch of spoons and utensils and bowls I've seen too, right? What else do you make? Is that... And you hand carve them, chop the wood, do everything.
Yeah. And I was... So before coming on the show, I was hanging out with my girlfriend. She was like, so they're just going to talk about your epic wood carving career? Like, oh man, fuck you. I hope not. But actually, I kind of hope so because I mean, I love wood carving. It's great. It's really keeping me busy right now. And a buddy was a wilderness therapy guide for a little while, and in that I don't know, like they do a lot of wood carving with the kids as a therapeutic. I don't know, skill,
outlet,
I guess, right?
Yeah,
outlet. And so he and I were hanging out. We got a tattoo one day, and he busts out a piece of wood and a knife and starts carving a spoon. So I jump on board. That was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So I've been doing it ever since. And moving to Sweden, I moved out here because of a girl, like I said, and I didn't have a job, so I just jumped right into wood carving to keep me busy. And now I'm selling my pieces, and it's pretty fun. So yeah, everything's done with an axe and a knife. I go out and foraging, like I forage the wood myself, and I also work as an arborist when my body's not injured, so I'm able to collect a lot of wood from that job, and so I definitely have a pretty good stockpile at home right now, and I'm just busting out spoons and spatulas and little cups and small bowls.
That's way cool.
And they're
Just playing around.
awesome. I'm gonna share some of his shit on our stories. I have before because they're that. I am gonna buy one because I want a bowl.
A bowl.
But I have a request. You have to carve something funny in the side for me, okay? I can't fucking talk.
Something funny. You want me to write something funny in a beautiful hand carved bowl?
Yes.
Maybe on the bottom.
Great.
With love
I got you.
from your cousin.
That would be awesome.
All the way from Sweden.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people don't realize that you have to be careful about the kind of wood that you use because it can be poisonous. Isn't that right?
Yeah. I had a run in about a week ago. I realized that type of wood that I was using, and I hadn't sold any of these spoons yet. I still had them all, but they were of a specific type of elder wood. The bark and long story short, parts of the tree, if you ingest it, produce cyanide in the body. It'll really fuck you up. So I had 8 pieces done with this stuff, and now they're just purely for decoration.
Yeah.
But I definitely do my due diligence before I sell what I make. So.
Oh, that's crazy. I like how Elliot's singing in the background.
You can barely hear him. He's there.
I told him that I was going to talk to you, and he was like, Adam? I was like, yeah, cousin Adam. You haven't seen him since you were really little. And he's like, hey, I think I know that guy. And I'm like, hey, man, you probably do. On some unconscious level.
Yeah, knowing Ellie and his little, medium shit, he probably does.
Yeah, Elliot's a trip. He's huge now.
You got yourself a smart kid.
What was that?
You got yourself a smart kid.
Yeah. He's. I put him in soccer this year, and it's been so funny because you're around him every day, so you don't realize. And with COVID, you can't go into daycare, so you don't really see other kids. But they're lining him up, tallest to shortest, and he was the tallest kid on the team, and I was like, damn, dude.
I guess you're not short anymore, are you?
Yeah. He says the darndest things.
He's so cute.
He was like, Mommy, tattletales get stitches. And I was like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah. I was like, where'd you hear that? He's like, my teacher said it.
Oh, what? Jeez.
So the next day I go in and I'm like, so did someone say snitches get stitches? And she's like, did he repeat that? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh, well, they have this indoor swing, and I guess all the kids were fighting over it, so they took it down, and Elliot was the last kid there that day, and they're like, Elliot, do you want us to put up the swing? And he's like, it's broken. You said it was broken. And they're like, no, we just didn't want to fight, but don't tell your friends. It's a secret. And he's like, I'm going to tell my friends. And the teacher, her helper was like, Elliot, snitches get stitches. And I pick him up and he was just repeating that over and over again. And finally I'm like, Elliot, I don't know if you should say that anymore. He's like, you're right, Mom. Tattletelling is the right thing to do.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh.
I'm like, geez. So So if anyone wants to inquire about your hand carved beautiful woodwork utensils, bowls,
Bows.
cups, do you make
Spoons.
what?
I don't know.
Do you make, like, you said you make spatulas, right?
What is that motion for?
Yeah, I like the hand gesture. Yeah, I make spatulas.
I don't know what that hand motion.
It's a good thing we don't film because this is a shit show
mean-
production. Put that on a t-shirt, hashtag it.
We'll write it down.
Shit show
We
production.
gotta write this shit down.
Yeah. Because I would think that, I mean, you literally are taking these pieces out of giant blocks of wood and then, and I know you, like, do you draw it first before carving, or like some of these pieces that you make are pretty intricate?
Thanks, man. I mean, there's a whole process that goes into it. A lot of swinging the axe. I mean, most of the work really is just roughing out the log with the axe, and then just fine tuning it with the knife and scooping out the bowl. Boom. It doesn't take that. I mean, it takes a lot longer than that, but
Yeah.
it is pretty simple. You kind of envision what you want out of the wood and see if the wood works with you on that, and see what happens.
It's just, whittling times 100. I could never whittle. I was a terrible whittler.
At least you tried.
Yeah. No. Well, I really appreciate you, talking to us. And again, like, I'll link some of your work and the stories. If people want to buy some of your pieces, like, are you up for that? Would you be down to sell some pieces?
Yeah, absolutely. I sell most of my stuff off of Instagram or Facebook. Instagram is at Ellowitz, so Smell O Wits. It's pretty simple.
With a Z.
With the Z, yeah. And so the way I'm doing it is I just carve a bunch of pieces, accumulate 20 to 40-ish, and then I'll sell them all at once, first come, first serve. So I have another spoon drop coming up in about 2 weeks. So
That's
I'm just working on new
perfect.
pieces. So if anybody wants to buy some stuff,
Yeah,
it's up for sale.
that's perfect because your episode's going to drop in a couple weeks. Boom. Making it happen.
Boom. But that's not the whole point of me talking to you today. I'm not just trying to promote. Buy a fancy toothpick. No, that's not.
No, but you can leave this conversation and go fuck with your girlfriend and be like, "Yep, it was all about my spoon business."
We didn't care about anything else. We just want to know about your spoons.
No, I really just wanted to hear about your travels and, all the amazing experiences you've had, because you really have gotten around in the best of ways.
Let's just throw that one out in the best of ways.
I mean, I know.
Yeah, thanks, man. I mean,
I know.
I just have a short attention span, that's all.
No, you're good. I know. I've had a couple people on that are like, or they're really nervous in the beginning. Like, I had one person on that's like clicking the pen the whole time, and I'm like, "Hey, chuck that across the room."
Sir, stop.
But before we let you go, because I know you got a big night ahead of you. It's the evening there for you.
That's all good.
I'm gonna resolve my hangover right now.
We should have done that with like a freaking
Like when I started, but I wasn't ready
like
for
a Bloody
it.
Mary. You need like a Bloody Mary
No, that's light. It's good.
though.
It's hippie approved. We touched on Hawaii super briefly, and I won't keep you long, but I thought it was really cool, and I'm glad that you brought it up because I actually forgot about that. You lived there for how long? You said 2 years as well?
Yeah, well, almost 2 years.
Yeah, and you worked with a youth program, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was fumbling over my words when I was talking about carving spoons as a therapeutic outlet, but
Yeah.
that's also what I did.
Yeah, but I'm glad that you brought that up. It was a good reminder. Like, what was that experience like?
So I was working in horticulture therapy program. I still don't totally agree with their methods, but I mean, the people that I worked with and the youth that I worked with was really powerful. I mean, we were working with, to put it very broadly, troubled youth, which can just encompass so much. But it was a therapeutic healing program. So I mean, we were working with young people who were just demonstrating a lot of either trauma or just personal life issues and having a really rough go at it. I mean, it was a powerful 2 years.
Yeah.
To put it quickly and lightly, but it was, I mean, not to mention, it was on the big island of Hawaii, and it was shift work. So I was working 8 days on, and then I'd have 6 days off to just be on the island and do my thing, ride my bike around. And, it was excellent, man.
Yeah, that's amazing. You went from Hawaii to Alaska. Where did Zambia fall in between those? Hawaii, Zambia, then Alaska?
No, it was Zambia, back to Salt Lake, Central America for a bit, Hawaii, Alaska, a bunch of times. I worked another job in Alaska, another youth therapy program outside of Wrangell Island in Southeast Alaska, and we were doing about 40 to 50 day canoe expeditions with trouble boys. So this is more like in trouble with the law kind of thing. Worked with a lot of kids right out of jail and juvie. But that was a trip, man. That was fucking rowdy.
Yeah, you've helped a lot of fucking people. I'm sure of it. I hope you know that. I hope you feel that, because that's powerful. You know, and Tyler said that, that he went over there when he went over to the Gambia with a lot of naivety, like without even realizing it. You know, he thought he was going to go over there to almost help people, but he's like, it's bullshit. They taught me everything. That experience totally remade me. And it was kind of eye-opening for me to hear, because, he came back a totally different person, and very humbled, very loving, empathetic, passionate to help people as well. And I just think it's such a rad gig that you guys are doing. You've done so much, and I really applaud. I mean, your life is inspiring. I'm not trying to like blow up your head or anything, but that's why I wanted you on, because you've literally lived a life of tumbleweed, and one that any person
tumbleweed
would want to live. Yeah, it's dope. So keep on kicking ass, cousin. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thanks, Lee.
And
Appreciate the kind words.
I'm excited to see you.
Yeah. Hey, surprise, and we'll definitely kick it for as long as we can. I mean, I'm out there for 3 months this summer. So
what?
Damn.
Oh my God, we're doing the damn thing. You should come to. Are you going to come to Crouch, Idaho, with the fam bam
shit, is that
in July? Yeah.
Oh man, I'm officiating a wedding. Two of my best friends from the Peace Corps getting married up in Washington.
Amazing.
Middle of July. We're going to be in California before that. I think I'm going to have to miss Crouch unless we push it back a little bit. But
yeah, I don't know. It's so this place is crazy. It's an airport in the middle of the Idaho forest, and right off to the landing strip are a bunch of camping sites. You can pitch tents, and it's right off of the river. It's beautiful. And every July 4th, they shut everything on Main Street down, gas, power, because you're not allowed to shoot fireworks off within like 100-mile radius or something like that for fire protection. or safety, excuse me,
Protection.
protection, and it turns into a goddamn Republican's haven. It is the craziest thing you've ever seen. Like, whole main streets taped off with caution tape. You know, everyone's running up and down the street. Roman candle fights, fireworks going off everywhere. My dad broke a guy's nose there the last time we were there.
Oh my God.
I mean, people were running up and down, you know, this firework lane with like "Don't tread on me" flags, and is like, this is the way to celebrate
shit.
America.
Next year, I want to do that.
It's come this 4th.
It's my mother-in-law's birthday.
Yeah. But, you know, sorry, I had to segue there because it's beautiful. Yeah, we're definitely going to link up. We'll have to go on a camping trip. I need to get Elliot out and, you know, rough him up a little bit. He's a mama's boy. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but hey, it is what it is. But I love you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk to us.
Don't mind me being late.
Oh, I told him that you're pregnant and hangry.
Well, I had 2 pieces of toast this morning.
Yeah, it's all good. It's a great episode.
Totally excused, guys. This is a treat. This is a lot of fun. Digging your podcast, and really, thanks for having me on. This is pretty cool.
Yeah. All that being said, fam, thank you for listening. Go ahead and give us a follow on Facebook and Instagram at hardtalkswithbnh@gmail.com. Go follow at Ellowitz on Instagram to look at his...
With a Z.
Yeah. Yeah. SMELLOWITZ. Correct?
You got it.
Yep. Spot on. Get ready for that spoon drop. It's kick
Spoon
ass.
drop.
I'm going to buy a spoon. Hey, watch me. Give us a email or shoot us an email. Sorry, I'm off on
Give
my
us a
game
5-star
today.
rating.
Yeah. Shoot us an email at
hardtalkswithbnh@gmail.com to comment or to add any perspective. You know, share your points of view, topical comments. I'm cutting all that out. We're here. Can you say hi? Say bye, fam.
What?
Can you say hi to Adam?
Oh, that kiddo's so big. What's up, Elliot?
Awesome.
Hey, little cousin.
Okay, push this button. All that being said, guys, we hope you have a great rest of your week. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Just everything.
Well, yeah. Be good. Be kind. Make good decisions. Love yourself. Until next week. Bye.
Bye. Are we supposed to be talking? Blah, 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 blah. I want to eat my hot Cheetos.
Perfect.
I mean, I could do that, couldn't I? Be like,
Yeah, do that. ASMR.
It's a nice hot Cheeto.
Just do it the whole time. Every time someone talks, just do that.
Honestly. Be that person. They're just so good, though.
Goodbye. I'll talk to you.
Yeah.